Hello, thank you for watching Alternative Authorizations, an overview of applications and its supporting documents. The Alternative Authorization application packets can be found directly on the State Department of Education website at sde.idaho.gov. Select Certification and Professional Standards. Certification. Apply for Educator Certification. Select the District Charter option, clicking the Alternative Authorizations for District link. For CTE-related alternative authorizations, please visit the Idaho Division of Career Technical Education website at cte.idaho.gov. Hover over Educators, selecting Become a CTE Educator. Scroll to the bottom of the page and select an option from the plus signs provided. The application overview video will discuss how to fill out complete applications for the Content Specialist, Teacher to New Certificate, Teacher to New Endorsement, Pupil Service Staff, and Emergency Provisional. Once navigated to the Alternative Authorization page, an application crosswalk is now available to provide guidance when and what type of application should be used for the candidate. You will also find the submission dates for applications to be sent to the state. What is a content specialist? It is an alternative authorization allowing a local education agency to request an instructional certificate for an individual who possesses distinct content knowledge and skills to teach in a content area. What is distinct knowledge? Distinct knowledge means the candidate shall meet or exceed the state qualifying score on the appropriate state board approved content or pedagogy assessment, including demonstration of content knowledge through combination of employment, experience, and education. First, access the most revised Content Specialist application posted on the website and fill in the school information, including point of contact, phone number, and email address. The updated applications now reflect the candidate's last name, first name, and full middle name to be included on the demographic section of the application. Second, list the endorsement aligning to the certification route the candidate is enrolled in. If a candidate is completing a program through a traditional route or through ABCTE, the endorsement must match the plan outlined by the college or university or the assessment program the candidate is enrolled in for ABCTE. List the correctly aligned assignment in which your candidate will be teaching. For questions regarding the correct assignment, please visit the Assignment Credential Manual located on the certification website. The next section of the application is the distinct knowledge portion mentioned earlier. Please select the candidate's content qualifier in addition to mentoring information. Both the school board chairperson and the superintendent or charter administrator sign and date the application. What are examples of content qualifiers? The uniform standard for evaluating competency, or rubric, is a mechanism to tally coursework, volunteer, and/or work experience to reach a point threshold. For all subjects and special education, this point threshold is 200 points. Content coursework, such as math, science, social sciences, and language arts, may be used, in addition to educationally related coursework. For single subject endorsements, such as mathematics or biological science, the point threshold is 100 points. Coursework in the specific content area, volunteer, and/or work experience may be used to reach the 100-point threshold. If a candidate is using ABCTE as their route, a past ABCTE assessment
or their professional teaching knowledge, or PTK, score report may be used. The final two content qualifiers that may be used include a past praxis in the subject area being requested, or a baccalaureate degree or higher in the content area.
The next section of the application is designated for the candidate. Here, they will indicate their route towards certification and include documentation showing proof of enrollment. This section indicates whether or not the candidate has a baccalaureate degree or will be student teaching in the authorized year the school is applying for the alternative authorization. The candidate's signature is required.
What is proof of enrollment? If the candidate is enrolled in a traditional program, the signed formal plan should indicate the endorsement the candidate is working towards, the time frame of student teaching, and the coursework to be finished before the college or university will issue an institutional recommendation or recommend the candidate to receive certification in the state their program is located. If a program is not nationally accredited by the Council for Accreditation of Educator Preparation, CAPE for short, the candidate can be recommended and apply for certification in the state the program is approved. Then apply for reciprocity for Idaho certification. If the candidate is enrolled in ABCTE but has yet to complete the assessments, proof of enrollment may either be an official letter indicating the area of endorsement or a receipt showing the assessment program purchase. Next, the candidate section continues, requiring the licensing and legal page to be completed with initials and the candidate's signature under the attestations section.
If the rubric is being used as the content qualifier, fill in the information with the candidate's name, how many points tallied, along with the candidate and the district or charter signature.
Certification and employment require separate background checks unless a background check was completed within 6 months of certification and/or employment. Is the candidate going from a classified employee to requesting certification? If so, then yes, your candidate will need a new background check. Has your candidate received a background check within 6 months? If yes, a new background check will not need to be completed. Submit a background check investigation form found on our website to the state.
Before submitting the Content Specialist application, the following checklist will ensure a complete application. The school has verified the candidate is student teaching in the authorized year of the application or holds a baccalaureate degree. The correct endorsement and assignment are listed. Proof of enrollment, along with a signed formal plan, the content qualifier, and official transcripts are included. The application also includes all required signatures along with a recent background check. Finally, payment must be included before submitting to the state. The next application is Teacher to New. What is Teacher to New? It is an alternative authorization allowing a local education agency to request an additional certificate and/or endorsement for a candidate. What is the difference between Teacher to New certification and Teacher to New endorsement? Teacher to New certification is an alternative authorization allowing a local education agency to request additional certification for a candidate who already holds a current and valid Idaho credential in a new certification area. Teacher to New endorsement allows a local education agency to request additional endorsement for a candidate who holds a current and valid Idaho credential. Routes towards certification and/or endorsement
may include coursework using a traditional program, having a baccalaureate degree or higher in the content area, or passing a content assessment and completing a one-year state board-approved mentoring program. If the Teacher to New certificate is needed, the candidate will choose option 1 to seek an endorsement through coursework to obtain an institutional recommendation from the college or university. The candidate may also choose the ABCTE assessment program route. ABCTE may only be used for standard instructional only, not available for CTE specific endorsements. For Teacher to New endorsement routes, the candidate has 3 options toward obtaining a new endorsement. Option 1, the candidate is seeking an endorsement through coursework to obtain an institutional recommendation from the college or university. This authorization is valid for 1 year and may be renewed for 2 additional years with evidence of satisfactory progress. Satisfactory progress equates to 9 semester credits during the authorized year. Option 2, the candidate holds a completed master's degree in the content area being requested and completes a 1-year state board-approved mentoring program. Option 3, the candidate will pass a content assessment and complete a 1-year state board-approved mentoring program. A past praxis, the rubric, or holding a baccalaureate degree in the content area may be used for option 3. Option 3 may also be used for ABCTE assessments, in addition to completing the 1-year state board-approved mentoring program. If using the ABCTE route for option 3, include proof of enrollment.
First, access the most revised Teacher to New application posted on the website and fill in the school information, including point of contact, phone number, and email address. The updated applications now reflect the candidate's last name, first name, and full middle name to be included in the demographic section of the application. Second, list the endorsement the candidate currently holds. Next, list the new endorsement being requested along with the correctly aligned assignment. For questions regarding the correct assignment, please visit the Assignment Credential Manual located on the certification website. Next, provide the mentor's name. The school board chairperson and the superintendent or charter administrator signatures are required. Date the applications. The next section of the application is designated for the candidate. This is where they will specify the particular route towards obtaining the endorsement and/or certificate. If the candidate is using a traditional route towards the endorsement and/or certificate, the signed formal plan should indicate the endorsement the candidate is working towards and the coursework to be finished before the college or university will issue an institutional recommendation or recommend the candidate to receive certification in the state their program is located. If a program does not have state board approval, the candidate can be recommended and apply for certification in the state the program is approved. Then apply for reciprocity for Idaho certification. As you will notice, option 3 has several selections. The candidate will choose 1, initial the route, along with initialing the mentoring component and include their signature. If the rubric is being used as their content assessment, fill in the information with candidate's name, how many points tallied through coursework, along with the candidate and the district and/or charter signature. Next, the candidate section continues, requiring the licensing and legal page to be completed with initials and the candidate's signature under the attestations section. Before submitting the Teacher to New application, the following checklist will ensure a complete application. The correct endorsement and assignment are listed. The route towards certification has been selected. If choosing option 1, include proof of enrollment. The application has all required signatures and has a recent background check, if applicable. And finally, payment must be included before submitting to the state. A side note, if the candidate is not new to the district or charter, a background check is not needed. Moving on to the Alternative Authorization Pupil Service Staff application. What is the Alternative Authorization Pupil Service Staff? This alternative authorization allows a local education agency to request certification and endorsement for a candidate when a position requiring the Pupil Service Staff certificate cannot be filled. What endorsements can be used for the Alternative Authorization Pupil Service Staff application? School counselor and school social worker. To align with Idaho Code, those receiving the school social worker endorsement will also receive the school counselor basic. However, school counselor will not receive the school social worker endorsement. First, access the most revised Pupil Service Staff application posted on the website and fill in the school information, including point of contact, phone number, and email address. The updated applications now reflect the candidate's last name, first name, and full middle name to be included in the demographic section of the application. Second, list the endorsement being requested along with the correctly aligned assignment. For questions regarding the correct assignment, please visit the Assignment Credential Manual located on the certification website. Next, provide the mentor's name, the school board chairperson and the superintendent or charter administrator signatures are required. Date the application. The next section of the application is designated for the candidate. Here, they will indicate their route towards certification and include documentation showing proof of enrollment. The candidate's signature is required. Next, the candidate section continues, requiring the licensing and legal page to be completed with initials and the candidate's signature under the attestations section. What is proof of enrollment? For pupil service staff, the candidate must be enrolled in a traditional program. The signed formal plan should indicate the endorsement the candidate is working towards and the coursework to be finished before the college or university will issue an institutional recommendation or recommend the candidate to receive certification in the state their program is located. If a program does not have state board approval, the candidate must be recommended and apply for certification in the state the program is approved. Then apply for reciprocity for Idaho certification. Before submitting the pupil service staff application, the following checklist will ensure a complete application. Either school counselor or school social worker has been selected, along with the correctly aligned assignment. Proof of enrollment and official transcripts verifying a completed baccalaureate degree are included. The application has all required signatures, along with a recent background check. Finally, payment must be included before submitting to the state. The final overview is the Emergency Provisional application. What is an Emergency Provisional? The Emergency Provisional Certificate allows a school district or charter school to request a one-year certificate and/or endorsement in an emergency situation for a candidate who does not hold the required Idaho certificate and/or endorsement to fill a position. The candidate must hold at least 48 college or university credits. The Emergency Provisional cannot be used for special education. First, access the most revised Emergency Provisional application posted on the website and fill in the school information, including point of contact, phone number, and email address. The updated applications now reflect the candidate's last name, first name, and full middle name to be included in the demographic section of the application. Second, list the endorsement being requested along with the correctly aligned assignment. Again, emergency provisionals cannot be used for special education. For questions regarding the correct assignment, please visit the Assignment Credential Manual located on the certification website. Emergency provisionals require a little more time to process. The list of application submission dates is provided in the application packet. As a side note, if emergency provisionals are submitted after January 1, it must be due to losing a staff member. If hired before January and the application is received after January 1, the application will not be recommended to the State Board of Education. Next, the education agency will list the date the school board declared the position an emergency, along with the candidate's hire date and the school's recruitment effort to fill the position. The school board chairperson and the superintendent or charter administrator signatures are required. Date the application. The next section of the application is designated for the candidate. Here, the credits completed are listed, along with the candidate affirmation, the licensing and legal section, initials, and the candidate's signature under the attestation section. Before submitting the emergency provisional application, the following checklist will ensure a complete application. The correct endorsement and assignment are listed. The emergency date and hire date are indicated. The recruitment efforts are listed or included as a separate document. Transcripts showing at least 48 credits. And the application has all required signatures, along with a recent background check. Finally, payment must be included before submitting to the state.
Alternative authorizations are not needed if a candidate is enrolled in College of Southern Idaho's non-traditional program, or Lewis & Clark State College Alternative Pathway to Certification, or has completed the ABCTE assessments. The candidate will apply directly using the Idaho Educator Certification application. For specific information regarding how to receive a 3-year interim certificate for speech-language pathologist, school psychologist, and school nurse, please visit the Pupil Service Staff page on the certification website. For more information for non-traditional routes, please visit our website for non-traditional candidates. Here, you will also find a non-traditional route summary.
So, what's next? If a completed alternative authorization application has been received and approved, both the candidate and the school will each receive one certificate outlining the candidate's specific conditions to complete. For those atypical applications, the applications will be presented to the Professional Standards Commission for approval. A 3-year non-renewable certificate will be issued for content specialist, teacher to new certificate, and pupil service staff. The teacher to new endorsement will receive a 1-year certificate and may be renewed if pursuing the option 1 route, if satisfactory progress has been met. If option 2 or 3 is used, the 1-year certificate is non-renewable. Upon approval from the State Board of Education, emergency provisionals will also receive a 1-year non-renewable certificate. If an application is received and it is not complete, this could result in a funding issue for the school, as well as the candidate being out of compliance with 33-1201. Here are some helpful contacts within the certification team. Annette Schwab is background in ethics. Sinalaki, coordinator, certification and professional standards. Helen Henderson works with professional and advanced professional endorsement. And Melissa Knudsen is your background specialist. If you have questions related to CTE, please contact Christy Anger or Nathan Hobbs. And finally, any questions related to IC, please contact Amy Sigler, Roger Evans, or Todd King. We are all here to help. Thank you very much.